Hello, all right, let's get right to the subject. So, what I want to talk about today is spirituality and its sexy sell. Yep, that's what I said. The sexy sell of spirituality. Now, I am going to cover a couple of things of why I want to talk about this. Is like a saying that I heard someone say and I adapted. I don't remember who. Also, I would accredit this person, but now I say it all the time that many times, many and most of the time, I wanted to say those two words at the same time, spirituality is given a little tag that I made for everyone: sexy sell. Spirituality and its sexy sell. So I want to get into what I mean by that. What do I mean by that? What I mean is, there are ways and things that are presented to people online, videos, books, all kinds of things to kind of sell different concepts of spirituality, meaning things that kind of catch the eye and make you want to get pulled in and go, maybe I need this, or could this be me? Basically, it's the thing that kind of like tantalizes you, but really doesn't give you anything and doesn't help you in any kind of way, which is what I call a sexy sell. All right, so let me get my coffee, and this is coffee. And if you haven't been listening to my new podcast, The House Medium, I've been talking about in my podcast, like meaning within the podcast, I'm talking, I have my own little coffee shop called The Medium Brew. And so, because I'm manifesting this, and if you haven't listened to my podcast, you should. And a lot of you are enjoying the concept that you send in an email, ask me a question, and then I will have you on. Some people, I will just read their emails, and I'll have a segment where I'm just reading emails, especially for those people who are shy and don't want to be on. And maybe sometimes it's just a quick answer, but I am having a segment where you are on and the person's on, and you will hear me answer whatever kind of thing that's happening in their home, or if they're trying to buy a home, or any kind of paranormal type stuff. Now, what I'm trying to do, and you see how I'm going to tie this in, is kind of take away some of the sexy sell, meaning it's okay to have something tantalizing, something kind of on the plate that kind of, looks tasty, but there needs to be a payoff, meaning either there's some help that's given to you, there's something you take away from it, and understanding. And this is kind of the concept I'm trying to have with the House Medium. You're going to hear the person's email, and it may be like a story that you're like, oh, that sounds kind of creepy or weird or whatever. However, I'm going to answer it to them and right then and there, and then they're going to be able to say, did this make sense to them or not? Hence, the sexy sell has a payoff. So what I want to teach you about is things to look out for that are not giving you that payoff. So here's like one, and maybe like you can put a better version of this, but let's do the tag of peace. And if you hear all this noise, if you don't know, it's raining like insane in LA and even snowing in places. So LA or hell has frozen over for some of the people who think LA is hell. As a person who loves the sun, I'm not thrilled, but it's temporary. Okay, so moving on. So peace being a sexy sell, meaning when somebody is saying to you, do these things to achieve peace. Meditate. That's a very popular one, right? One is meditate. The other is kind of doing some inner work and looking into yourself. Going on to a mountaintop, into a retreat, and being removed from all technology and all these things is another way to find peace. Now, what's my saying? If you haven't heard me say it, it's very easy to find peace on a mountaintop, but very hard in the middle of chaos. But that is a sexy sell, meaning telling someone, join this retreat. Now, you may be saying, wait a minute, Adela, if I go on a retreat, isn't there a payoff? Temporary. It's a temporary payoff, meaning you go and you remove yourself from everything and you just focus on yourself, and you feel really good and you feel like you had this amazing experience, but you leave there feeling like, how do you maintain it? And why is that, you may ask? Because the sell is, in order to have peace, you have to do these things in this place. It doesn't usually, I'm not saying always, but you can go ahead and leave in the comments below, have you had this experience where you've gone on a retreat or even a day retreat or anything, and you feel refreshed, but you don't feel like you really know how to maintain it because now you have stresses of work and life and you're very grounded here and you don't know how to maintain that. I'm going to give some pointers at the end of this, so don't worry, on different things how to maintain these sexy cells. Okay, so you go on these retreats and you go in these meditations and they feed you and they, basically take care of you and make you say, hey, listen, we're going to help with all your needs, your mental needs, your physical needs, your spiritual needs, and don't worry, and then you feel great and you're like, why can't I feel like this all the time? Okay, that's a sexy cell. Let's go to another one. Fear. Fear. Another price tag of a sexy cell. Fear. You want to throw that up there? Fear is usually going to be a very sexy cell, believe it or not, because when it comes to the paranormal world, spiritual world, spirits and stuff, the cell is, ooh, look how scary this is, ooh, and you're like tantalized. And we kind of like to get to be afraid, right? We like roller coasters and haunted houses. Not the real kind. I don't mind the real kind, but Halloween. So fear is a very sexy cell. That's basically saying, hey, listen, if you kind of like go on this journey or go on this experience, you'll just get like the fear, the shit, knocked out of you. And then, you're fine, right? Because then it's really not like real. However, the other part of fear can be, oh, is there something wrong with me? These are 10 things I need to look at to see if there's something wrong with me. Am I doing something wrong? It could also kind of go into making you afraid that there's something wrong with your loved ones who have passed, they're lost, they're wandering. Oh my gosh, again, fear. Fear tends to sell. And let's say someone does say, oh, by the way, your family is lost in this and this and that. Where's the payoff? Is the payoff to like say, oh, talk to them or pray for them? You don't really feel like you've gotten over that fear because you're not sure. You're just told they're wandering and things like that. So that's another sexy cell. And here's one of my favorites is pain equals healing. Yes, pain equals healing. How is that a sexy cell? Well, every goddamn cult, pretty much every cult has all of these, but every cult is going to sell you on that. It's going to sell you on the idea that you need to go through pain and suffering in order to heal. Sorry, that's not what the universe has taught me. That is not what I see as a path to healing. Do we have pain? Do we have suffering? Absolutely. We are here in this human experience on this earth going through earthly things. However, it doesn't mean you have to go through pain in order to go through healing. A matter of fact, we're trying to evolve and grow and move past this concept of pain. That's why we're not, lighting fires in caves anymore. We progress and we grow and we evolve. And so the idea of getting to an evolved state to have healing take place is to not have to go through the pain. Meaning, if we could evolve as people, couldn't we have peace, right? Couldn't we have these things? Couldn't we have all these things I just mentioned? We could have peace. We could let go of our fears. We could face them and then let them go. We could heal without pain, and then we could get the price tag of spirituality. Meaning, we could have what spirituality really is. And what it really is to evolve and grow and not have to go through these things. If we could have peace with each other, we wouldn't have these things, okay? So when you want to look for the sexy cell, look for, is someone telling me something that is going on with me, but is not really giving me anything, first of all. Second of all, meaning like they're not really giving me anything besides buy all of these crystals, buy all of these things, when it is coming to a place where in order to get over your fear and your pain and all that, you have to do 5 steps, 10 steps, that's a sexy cell. If there's like buy all these things and you will bing, just be, everything will be erased. That's a sexy cell. Because that is not how it works. We have to go through things. We have to feel the human experience. And yes, there are things we can do, and there are things that we can like utilize, and we can use like crystals and incense and meditation and all that, but it's to help us in this human experience. The sexy cell is that it will remove you, I want to say that again, from the human experience. That's the sexy cell. That is the big sexy cell, and that is usually what cults are built on. Let's remove you from all human things. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. All your human emotions and those things that are telling you what feels good for you and not, just throw that away, because we're just going to remove you from that and give you everything you need. Just follow me, do what I say, take these things, buy these things, and you will be free. So, the last one I wanted to cover with pain and healing, I just wanted to go back and explain real quick that yes, we go through pain and we go through suffering, but that is not what the universe is looking for healing. Healing is just facing the things and honoring those things you've gone through and allowing yourself to feel it. And what sometimes it will be painful and sometimes it won't. But the overall arch is to reach a place where we don't have to go through these things in order to evolve. However, instead, look for this. If you're looking for peace, the answers are within you. That's all meditation is for. The meditation, however you choose to do it, is to kind of make contact with self. Now, I have a Patreon that I post, videos, extra stuff for you to take place in. And I offer this, and it's like $5, that's it. And I'm trying to do as much as I can to give you things. And I put meditations on there. That's why I'm mentioning it. And I did a meditation for clarity. But it isn't the sexy cell of like, this is going to clear you all up and you'll just be clear now and do these things and everything. No, this is just, here's a tool in your tool belt. So when you're looking for peace, let's say you look inside yourself and you may do meditation or other things, and that's another tool in your tool belt. That's it. You can take it, you can use it or not. It's just an added thing. It's not, here you are, here's the magic wand and everything is clear. Okay, same thing with fear. Fear, when you're trying to face your fears, just face your fears. When you have fears, it's okay to admit your fears and look at them. The hard part is to move through them anyway. So it's okay to be afraid of the paranormal, be afraid of things that you have to face on your own, yourself. All the fears that come up are totally normal and healthy. But if you can allow yourself to look at it, write it down, just find a way to not run from it, and know that it's going to be hard and difficult. And if it's hard and difficult, you didn't fail. You are living and thriving if you are facing those things and pushing through. And lastly, healing, pain and healing. How do you face the pain and healing? It's the same. You have to look at it. How do you get to healing? It is a lifetime of effort. Healing is a conscious effort. It's you telling yourself, I want to lay down and I want to stop. I don't want to keep pushing through the pain and the healing and all that, but it's a lifetime. So what I would say to you is allow yourself to get to know who you are, find out who you are, follow yourself, listen to your inner self, because that will guide you more. All these other things are just helpful little things that you can put in your tool belt to take out. Meditation, going for walks, breathing. Yes, all these things are great. Writing in a journal, but they're not the quick fix. And that is usually the sexy cell. Okay, so I hope that helped. Okay. Need a little coffee. Before I go, I wanted to let you know that I'm doing Psychic 101 course, because you guys, and this is not a sexy cell because it takes work for you to do it, and you could take it or leave it. It's me trying to teach you some tools to put in your tool belt. Those of you have taken it, but also thank you so much. You guys did amazing. But if you, some of you have asked me to bring it back, and so I'm bringing it back, and it starts this Sunday. if you'd like to join. And also, like I said, I have my podcast, I have my Patreon, I post on everything, so follow me on all the things, if you choose. So I hope that brought some clarity. Please feel free to leave comments and ask any questions. I like to hear from you. If you have any questions, that you like to ask me, it's better to email me than DM me, or put it in the comments here so I can keep track of, where your questions are coming from. Meaning, if you're watching this, if you DM me on Instagram, it's kind of hard for me to know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what am I going to say? Follow yourself, follow no one, listen to your inner voice. All right? And look for those sexy cells, and I'll see you soon.